Welcome back, you guys. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Swadik Mayanja. You guys can call me Q, and I am Q, the nurse. And on this channel, I bring to you news, current events, research, fun topics that matter to nurses everywhere. Let's get to it.
Better to have a short life that is full of what you like doing than a long life spent in a miserable way.
Hey! So to start off today, we start in the happiest place on the planet. Actually, probably the second happiest. Disneyland is not Disney World. Disney World is the happiest place on the planet. So what happened in Disneyland, you may ask? So there's a mini outbreak of Legionnaires disease. So Disney Park has shut down 2 cooling towers at its park in Southern California following an outbreak of Legionnaires disease. And if you don't know what Legionnaires disease is, Legionnaires disease doesn't spread from person to person. Instead, the bacteria spreads through mist, such as from air conditioning units for large buildings, adults over the age of 50, and people with weak immune systems, chronic lung disease, and or heavy tobacco use are most at risk. So in Orange County, it is now known that about 12 people have gotten the Legionnaires disease, but people don't freak out. If you've been to Anaheim, if you've been there, or if you've been to Disneyland recently and you're worried that you might have Legionnaires disease, let me tell you the symptoms you might have. Most people who are around the spread of the mist from the air conditioning ducts, they will not have any symptoms. But if you are having symptoms, these are what you need to look out for. So those who do develop symptoms may experience cough, fever, chills, shortness of breath, muscle aches, headaches, and diarrhea. Legionnaires disease can be treated with antibiotics such as azithromycin and Cipro. So if you're feeling any of those aches, pains, or you have the diarrhea and you feel off and you've been to Disneyland Anaheim in recent past, just get yourself checked out. You'll get the antibiotics, you'll be cured, you'll be fine, you'll be treated. Do not freak out, but if you have been and you're feeling shitty, freak out. Go get checked. Make sure it happens. Moving right along, so this is a really cute story that I definitely want you guys to join in and help out. This is where you guys can make a difference outside of your day-to-day work as a nurse. So the American Heart Association is calling on knitting and crocheting enthusiasts to get to work for a good cause. What's this good cause, you might ask? The cutest, best, most adorable cause there possibly can be. Okay, so the organization is looking for volunteers to knit and crochet infant-sized hats to support the third annual Little Hats Big Hearts program. Love that title, Little Hat Big Hearts. Amazing marketing. Sidebar, amazing marketing. Just that name alone is just adorable, right? Wait until you see the goddamn cutest babies in the world, right? So the program provides handmade red hats to the babies born at participating hospitals in February for American Heart Month. The program aims to raise awareness about heart health and congenital heart defects. So if you want to do this, if you are a knitter, if you know how to crochet, this is it. This is where it begins for all you grandmas out there, for all you ladies out there. And I say grandmas and ladies, I don't want to stereotype. If you're a man, if you're a young man that likes to crochet and or knit, good for goddamn you. I wish I could, but I don't. Please knit away red hats. Send them to local American Heart Association site. If you don't know where that is, if you don't know where to deliver them, and if you want more details on how to make those hats so they are usable for these infants, the link is going to be in the comment section down below. Very important. Go check it out. Go give back. This is something you can do if you like knitting, if it's your meditation, if it's your calming way of living, if that's your stress relief. This is the best way to do it, right? Instead of making sweaters for the ungrateful grandkids, you can give it to some babies, the most adorable babies on the planet. And don't make them huge hats, but you get the idea. Just the only things I will tell you that are big, make sure that you're using cotton or acrylic yarns, and make sure that you can put it in the machine washer or the dryer. And if you can't knit like myself, if you can't crochet like myself, what you can do is donate yarn. Just go buy it and donate it, and someone will be knitting away for you. I love this story. I love ways that us nurses can give back outside of when we're in the building, when we're at the hospital, when we're at work. So this is your chance to give back. Moving on, story number 3 of the day. Super interesting. I love this story. I think it's absolutely great. So this is sticking it to those who empower. This is how you do it. You do it the right way. Fight resistance at its greatest, right? So a 12-year-old young girl in Colorado is suing Attorney General Jeff Sessions over what the lawsuit claims is an unconstitutional federal prohibition of medical marijuana. What? Yes? Did you hear that right? Are you confused? I was until I read the story. This is absolutely amazing. A 12-year-old girl. I obviously, I don't think it's the 12-year-old girl. I think it's the parents. But let's get some context before we start, jumping on the little lady for being on the weed.
Off the weed.
Her name, Alexis Bortel, who uses a strain of cannabis oil called Haley's Hope. Ooh. Okay, can we just pause right there? Alright, so she's using a strain of cannabis called Haley's Hope. Once you know why she uses it, you might be like, oh, that makes sense. But if I just came through you on the corner and said, I got this new Kush and it's called Haley's Hope, you'd be like, damn, let me get a quick puff of that. That's I love that name. Ooh, marketing today. You're winning. Anyways, she uses a strain called Haley's Hope to keep her seizures at bay. So she has an epileptic condition that she was born with, and she uses marijuana to keep it at bay, to keep that on the DL. So the lawsuit will at least try to normalize medical marijuana. Her best hope, she says, is that it will legalize it nationwide. So if you guys don't know anything, if you're not in the weed world, if you're not a smoker, you probably don't keep up as keen to what's going on with the legalization of marijuana. But marijuana is currently classified as a Schedule 1 drug. This is nationwide. Federally, it's classified as a Schedule 1 drug. The same classification as, wait for it, heroin, was considered a dangerous substance like cocaine, methamphetamine, and fentanyl and other crazy intense drugs. So if you know anything about these drugs, who am I talking about? I'm talking to a bunch of nurses here. You guys know all of these drugs very well. You do, because you hand out these drugs, to pain pills, to some of the patients who have just gotten their legs cut off. We give these drugs to this is the top of the line, end of the line drugs outside of heroin, because heroin's insane. No one uses heroin unless you're a junkie, which is a situation that we need to talk about and control. But marijuana is definitely in no sense ever in the same situation should ever been classified with those drugs in any sense of the way. It's just insane that we still believe that. It's insane that the government still wants to keep marijuana at a Schedule 1 drug situation. So anyways, you might say, but Q, she's from Colorado. Colorado, it's legal in Colorado. That is where the story has ended. Okay, that's not where the story started. So Alexis Bortel and her family moved to Colorado to be able to legally obtain cannabis oil to treat the epilepsy. Doctors in her home state of Texas. So this entire move to Colorado from Texas was because she could not use the cannabis in Texas. So doctors in her home state of Texas has discussed the possibility of brain surgery for the young girl. And when asked about it, she said, I'd say it's a lot better than brain surgery. Well, of course. If you had two options, option one, smoke a little kush to keep the seizures from happening to you, or have brain surgery, which would you choose? Is that even a question? This young girl, Alexis, you are super brave for standing up and going after someone as powerful as Attorney General Jeff Sessions. Miss Bortel, Alexis Bortel, you are a brave young little lady. I am sorry that you have this disorder, but for you to stand up and for you to make the decision that you are going to put yourself out there, for you to stand up and for you to decide to sue the Attorney General of the United States of America. Ooh. Hats off, little lady. Hats off. Good for you. Moving on. So this is a story that it's not really a story. This is just a fun topic that I like to talk about. And I'm doing this not so much for you, but for us. So I'm lucky enough, yay, go Q, that I have gotten a new job in a hospital, my first ever job in a real hospital. And I say real hospital, but I have been working at a rehab hospital, and I've gotten the best experience. I love my job there. I still love my job there. I think it's amazing people, amazing coworkers. But I'm moving on up. And I'm going to be new. I'm going to be new all over again. I've only been a nurse. I'm barely not new now at the job I'm at, so I am going to be new, brand spanking new again at this new hospital. But with that being said, and this goes for me, and especially for all those brand new spanking new nurses in general that are getting their first nursing job, I want to talk about 5 tips that are going to make your orientation beautiful, much more helpful, much more knowledgeable, where you're going to be successful through your orientation. Orientation can be super easy, can be really relaxed if you just sit back and do as little work as possible. It could be that, but you won't learn as much. It could also be super difficult if you don't know how much to take in and how much to let go and how much. So I'm here to break down your orientation, give you 5 solid tips onto how your orientation will be super successful if you do these things. I'm actually stealing these tips from Kathleen Coldeval from nurses.org. I'm going to put the link down below. She has 10 tips up there, so if you want more extensive explanation on how to have a better orientation, please go down and click that link. Thank you, Kathleen. Sorry for stealing it, but I'm giving you credit, and I cherry picked the 5 that I thought were most super important, / the ones I need to work on the most as well. Number 1, nursing school, you don't know jack shit. If you're coming out of nursing school, you know nothing. It's just zero. Just understand that. Go into the orientation understanding that you know nothing. You just don't. You don't know anything. Number 2, always ask questions. This is... When I say always ask questions, I literally mean always ask questions. Ask why are they doing it the way they're doing it. Ask how are they doing it. Ask where do you get that supplies. Ask how many times can I do it. Ask do I need help doing this. Ask. Because during your orientation, this is the expectation. No one expects you to know anything. Remember, number 1, you don't know anything. People expect you not to know jack shit, so ask away, because that is the expectation. Once your orientation's done, you still, if you're asking the same questions over and over again, people get annoyed. So take notes, ask away, but take notes and try to remember. All right, that's number 2. Number 3, observation is key. Right? You can read the skill, the procedure. You can watch YouTube videos of the skill, the procedure as many times as you goddamn want. But until you see it in real life, until you change your wound vac and you sniff that odor, until you give that, even me giving my first IM injection, right? Like all of these things, when you see it in real life, you pick up on things you would never pick up on a YouTube video. You would absolutely never even know to think of in a textbook. So when you have your preceptor, when you have going through your orientation, if you know that another nurse that is not your preceptor, or if you see a procedure happening that you haven't seen all day, that you know that you're going to have to deal with, or if you don't even know if you have to deal with it but you want to check it out, go check it out. Eyes on the prize. The more you see, the more you will soak in. So number 4, and I think number 4 and 5 are very close to each other. So number 4 is you don't need to do everything on your own. Number 5 is don't be a doormat. So let's do it one step at a time. So number 4, you don't need to do everything on your own. And this is huge for me, especially for a new nurse, for brand new nurses. When you go to a job, you're 20 years old, you just graduated a year, like a couple of months ago, this is your first job, you get on the unit, you're done your orientation, you start working, and there's 10 things you have to do, and now it's time for you to delegate. And you see on your right, you see a PCA that's been there for 45 years. You see on your left, you see an LPN that's been here for 16 years. You see a nurse that doesn't know the unit, and they're here and they've been here for 15 years. And it's your responsibility to delegate to those 3 people what to do, so you can get your job done the most efficiently, most successfully. Everyone in the situation, including the patients, are winning. This is the hardest thing for me to do. I hate with a passion telling other people what to do. I never in the history of my life want to be a charge nurse. I don't like that kind of pressure. Alright? I just know that about myself, and that's who I am. But I know that this part of my job is to delegate, right? So you just have to learn. And I think this is much more of a you'll get it the more you do it type of situation. There's no book that's going to of course the textbook is going to tell you to delegate this job to that person, but when the time comes and there's the more you do it, the more you'll get it, right? So this, I'm spending a lot of time on this because not only is for you, but this is a whole lot for me as well. Number 5, don't be a doormat. This is simple. So yes, I just told you that you need to delegate a whole lot, and when you do delegate, you need to be smart about it. But on top of being smart about delegating, you also need to know when to say no. Right? That comes hand in hand. If there's 6 things that need to be done, and one of the nursing aides, a PCA, another nurse wants help changing a patient, and you're in the middle of a med pass, you're not going to say, oh yeah, let me stop my med pass and go help you do. No, you've got to say no. You've got to put your foot down. Another time you guys need to know when to say no is when you just don't know anything. All the way back to tip number 2, where I said that you need to ask away. If you didn't do something, you've never seen something, and someone asks you to do something and it's in a rush, you need to stand up and voice you need to say absolutely not. Not because I don't want to. I will not do it because I don't know how to. I'm not comfortable doing it, but I will go with you, watch, learn, observe, and then next time I will hopefully do it by myself. That's all I say. So those are the 5 tips I think that that will help you. Like I said again, link down below, nurse.org. Kathleen, she's had 10 tips, much more extensive. She explains everything through. I love those tips. Thank you again to Kathleen. I'm excited for my new job, and I am definitely going to use these, try to capitalize on these tips myself as I move forward in my nursing career. All right, to end the show, per usual, nurse of the goddamn week. So I'm in the camp that I believe that I'm just gonna say, go nurses. I'm in the camp that believes nursing is the most compassionate career out there, right? But I also do believe serving for your country, the military, the army, the Marines, whatever, serving for your country is probably the bravest thing you can do, especially when you talk about war. It is a very, very scary thing. So I just want to shine a light on this superstar of a nurse. So as a nurse at Stanford University Medical Center, Marion Mullen could have taken part in America's first heart transplant. So I am going back a little ways away, but this lady, imagine this. So she's a nurse. She has the opportunity of taking part in the first heart transplant in the country, right? First heart transplant in a country, and instead she decides that no, she's going to go serve in Vietnam, to go take care of the wounded soldiers and put herself in actual real life or death harm. This is the decision she made as a nurse, and she did this willingly. She wasn't drafted, she just did this willingly. Absolutely amazing. So the Vancouver woman was one of the American civilians who worked in South Vietnam through State Department assistance programs. She worked in Da Nang, I'm sorry if I'm saying that wrong, but she worked in Da Nang from November 1967 through May 1969. Mullen was chief nurse of the United States Medical and Nursing Team in the 2nd largest hospital in South Vietnam. She's a superwoman. She did it. She's amazing. So I am in the camp of anti-war. I want absolutely nothing to do with war, and I'm not just saying this practically, hugs and kisses, kumbaya bullshit. I am actually anti-war. I really do think that we as a country, when I say we, I mean the United States, needs to stop intervening in people's conflicts. I think we need to just be a helping hand. So just like Marion Mullen did, who went to go serve, I think we need to go do that, but not go to serve our wounded soldiers. I think we should go serve and help other places in a much more humanitarian type of way versus an interventionist type of way where we helping or giving arms or fighting for a different country. Nope. I am too far anti-war. But with all that being said, as I can disagree with any commander-in-chief, any armed general, any war general, 180 degrees, the entire flip of the other way. But the one thing I cannot disagree with them is that anyone and everyone who decides to serve their country is not just only brave, but they're giving their life for people like us to live in the country with the most freedom and just be free, and to think the privileges we have because of those people who have fought for us is it's everything. It's everything. That's what it is. thank you guys again for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and leave your thoughts, your whatever you're thinking in the comment section below. I want to increase. I finally hit like 240, 250 subscribers, which I am so very, very thankful for. But I am trying super, super hard to increase, to up my engagement. So if there's anything I can do to get you guys to engage with me, to get you guys to engage with my content that I put out on any of my social, specifically YouTube, just let me know, because I want to have more of a conversation. I don't want to be talking to you, I want to be talking with you. So comments in the comment section below, let me know. Love you guys. Catch you on the flip. Deuces.